Hi everyone, I am Maribel and I work here in Merced Adult School as a counselor. And this week we're going to be talking about, and our topic will be problem solving. I think that's a huge skill that we need to learn for many reasons. We always, stress comes from situations, and we can't avoid any problems, any issues or challenges because they're a way of life. And so, they never end, and they vary in size and importance. So I want to kind of give you a guide on how to become a problem solver. And of course, I have resources in the link description below. There's a link for these resources. So I'll be talking about, the importance of what to do when you are faced up with problems, as well as an acronym to do to solve certain problems. And I will also promote our Hump Over Wednesdays that we will be having every Wednesday at 2 o'clock through Zoom at the end. Okay, so how do you become a problem solver? You can't really control the problems because they're going to happen, but you can definitely control your attitude, the way you approach each problem as it arises. So sometimes we are overwhelmed with problems by focusing on who is to blame and why the problem is occurring, and the cause. But that's not really how things work, and that's not what you want to do. The blaming game doesn't work. The why doesn't work. It happened already. So what can you do now? You definitely want to be able to be solution oriented. So focus on how to solve the problem, because those are the valuable people, and they are the ones who are positive, and they always have this, and very constructive. They're concentrated on what can be done rather on what has occurred and can be changed, because you can't change that, right? So you really want to switch your thoughts, off from of the problem, and then go on with some solutions. So ask yourself, what do we do now? What are some solutions? The more you face or focus on finding solutions, the more solutions you will find. That's how usually it works. So you really want to think and talk solutions. The faster and easier you will come up with better solutions. So make sure you think and you're always talking solutions. So why is this important? Why do you want to be solution focused? How is that going to benefit you? So what happens is you become more creative. You are more competent at solving problems, being able to deal with difficulties, achieving goals, and getting key results as you discipline yourself and focusing more on positive, constructive steps that you can take. So the better you get at solving problems, the bigger the problems you'll be given to solve. That's how it works. Once you can figure out the ones now, then people start giving you even more harder problems. So the bigger the problems you solve, the more money you will make. And the more money they will pay you, the more power you will have, and the higher positions you will attain. So if you want to continue climbing and continue, becoming a leader, and being able to deal with bigger issues, work on this, and being that solution focus. So your success in your career will be determined by your ability to solve problems at your level. And then what happens once you're done and being able to solve problems at your level, then you get promoted. If you're in school, you're getting promoted to, a higher grade. So you'll be able to get promoted to deal with even more complex problems and more important ones. And of course, therefore, your pay gets higher. So be that person that people bring their problems to, because you have, good ideas of how to solve the problem. You want to become that effective, thinker in becoming an intensely solution focused person. So therefore, focus on solutions, and then we'll talk about how you can do that. So there's an acronym. There's a 4-step process for resolving any issues that we face, and they use IDEA, the word IDEA. So I'll talk about the IDEA, the acronym itself, and then like what it stands for, and then we kind of apply it with something that maybe is happening here on an adult school. So IDEA stands for identifying the problem. So I, identifying the problem. D is developing solutions. E is executing the problem. And A is assessing the extent to which the plan resolved the problem. So there you go. Identifying, developing, executing, and assessing. So that's your idea. So let's kind of put something in scenario. Let's say I have a student that comes in and they're like, I don't know if I should take the GED or do the high school program. Which one should I do? That's their problem, right? Oh my gosh. So we really want to come down, and what it comes down to really deciding is, the problem is, is there a time constrict? Like, do you need to be done at a certain time? Are you a good test taker? And will that determine what side? So we have to look at the, that's a problem. We can't decide if we're going to be doing the GED program, or that's identifying the problem, or if we're going to do the high school program. So how are we going to develop solutions? So in this, we're going to use the pros and cons, its method. And so we'll talk about the pros and cons to each. Okay, so our pros for our GED. Okay, it could be faster. There's 4 tests. You can get done in a month, 2 months, 3 months, average 6 months. But people can really get done it within a month. I've seen people done it in less than a month sometimes if they're really focused. So that's a pro. There's class instruction. That's a pro. And then, so what are the cons? Okay, they can cost money. It's $35 each subject. There is class time, and maybe it's not maybe convenient to your time or accommodating your time. That's a con, right? So, and then let's talk about the high school program. So the high school program, you don't have to pay for anything. That's a pro. So let's talk about the pros. The high school program, you don't have to worry about paying for anything. There is really no big test you have to stress about. Some people stress over it, and you have chances to retake tests, and you just do the work and you get things done. That's a plus. You get a high school diploma. That kind of always works. So what are the cons of high school program? Well, the high school program could take long because it takes about 50 hours for 5 credits. So if you have a lot of credits, that might just take you a long time. Another con is there's no instruction in class. So it's just all on your own. You're kind of just, if you better be self-disciplined. What I mentioned with the GED, you don't have to, the pros is you don't have to be self-disciplined because there's instruction. But with the high school program, if you're not disciplined, you might lose track and not be able to manage your time and get things done. So that's another one. That's, like I said, that's it. Con. So once you juggle things down, how many credits do you need? Let's see, they needed about 40. And you're like, okay, 40 could take you about 3 or 4 months. Are you a good tester? If you're a good tester, then maybe if you're fast, do the GED. But if you don't care for testing because you're scared of testing, then maybe go to the high school if you have 40. At the end of the day, it does matter whether, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how long you take, but you definitely want to look at all these pros and cons. So that was developing your solutions, pros and cons. Executing the problem is okay, let's take a month and see how you do. Let's try the GED program if you like it. Maybe you like it and you can pass a test. Give yourself about a month and a half and see how you do. If it's just not going at your pace, maybe we can start looking at the high school program, or start in the high school program and see what you do in a month. If you feel like that's a good pace, then let's go with that. So that's going to be executing the problem. We're going to try first one, and then we will be assessing see if it worked. That will be the A. We assess to see if that works. If it's not working, then let's try a different one. Let's try the GED. So give yourself, when you're executing the problem, and then you decide to assess it, and if it's not working, let's figure out how can, if we're going to change something. So always go back assess, is this working, is this not working, and do follow-up. So there you go. That's kind of like how that worked and how we problem solved that, identifying the problem. The problem was the GED or the high school wasn't sure if the student wanted to do that, and then how we executing the developing solutions to the problem. We talked about the pros and cons to each and how it can benefit the student or not benefit, because every student is different. Then we actually decided to give at least a month to 2 and see how many credits you take if you decide to do the high school, or how long it takes you to do one test. And then that can help you decide on the pace. And then we'll assess every month or 2 months to see if it's working. And if it's not working, we can try something different. So something that it's going to help you be a problem solver every day. So every day, ask yourself these questions. What am I trying to do? And this is at work. This could be anything. How am I trying to do it? How, could there be a better way? I'm always thinking, and actually I am a problem solver. I'm like, how can we improve? How can we do this faster? How can we be more efficient? Ask yourself that. Could there be a better way of doing things and being more efficient? Definitely. Sometimes you have limiting factors that you can't do so much, but at least keep in mind, always keep thinking of how you can solve, or how you can be a problem solver, and focusing on solutions by seeing how you can improve in anything you do through work. So because if you want to change your future, you have to take action now. And that's kind of like with anything. No, I want to start a YouTube channel. I started one. Am I perfect? No. Do I need to do an intro? Yes. An outro? Yes. Should I have music in the background? Yes. Do I need to edit? Probably. But at least I'm getting some content out there and providing you with some information that I found. So anyhow, I do want to give a little plug-in to my Hump Over Wednesdays. This is a support group and meeting for students at Merced Adult School who are, who are just looking for some guidance, some support, just socializing, and having that check-in time and seeing if there's any resources you might need, anything. And so every Wednesday I will be conducting a Zoom meeting and actually having it there. I will be in case for anyone that wants to stop by. This is what we're going to focus on. What is going on in your life? How can we improve it? And helping each other out. I think it becomes a problem solving where we support each other on what's worked for other people. We talk about the solutions, we talk about the pros and cons to each solution, and then we come up with a plan at the end, whatever that is. Or unless we want to just socialize and there's no issues, let's just socialize. Or how can we improve anything that we're already doing? There's always going to be something to talk about and to improve, because I've said before, there's always room for improvement. So that's going to be starting next Wednesday, which is, I believe, September 2nd at 2 p.m. I will be sending emails to your teacher. So make sure you contact your teacher if you're interested in joining those meetings. You just have to either call or if you have a computer with the speaker, or like a camera, because that's then, you have a speaker. So other than that, remember to just be solution focused whenever you have any issues. Don't focus on stuff you can't control. Focus on what you can get done, because I've talked about this in my videos before, where a true leader, a real leader, doesn't start blaming people, doesn't start asking the why. It starts just saying how we can improve, and then go back and say how we can do better. Yeah, okay. That's it for this week's video. Hopefully you guys gained something, and you're maybe come and join me in the Hump Over Wednesdays that we will be having starting next week, September 2nd at 2 p.m. Make sure you contact your teacher if you want to join that. Other than that, if you have any suggestions for next week's video, let me know. But I will be busy creating a Canvas virtual student support center. So we'll see if I continue with all these videos, if I can catch up with that. So thank you very much, and let me know what you think about this video or any suggestions. Thank you. Bye.